Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. Thank you very much for staying tuned. I'm Clinton Reynolds, and my guest this evening is Vincent McDoom. He is a fashion designer, and he has been all over the world. I'm saying fashion designer. You're a TV personality all over Europe as well. You know, you're big.
Exactly. I'm a TV presenter and an actor as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm not trying to limit him, but he has gone so far, done so many things.
With a new cap, artistic director now.
Yes, now with the St. Lucia Tourist Board. And this new assignment that was given to you, by the St. Lucia Tourist Board.
Why do I know you would get there?
That's what we do. It created some ripples and probably even a tidal wave for some. First, let me get your impression of what came out of this, the reaction to it. What did you think when you heard the reaction to it?
What did I think when I heard what? I didn't pay attention to it. It was water off a duck's back, you know, because this was pretty expected, you know, in the society that we live in. You know, we would rather see a foreigner get something instead of getting a St. Lucian get it. After, you know, how many years of jazz festival now? How many years we've been having the Jazz Festival?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. The lineup for Jazz Festival has been what? Foreigners. International stars. You know, because they are the ones who do the lineup, and they are the one who excites the public to come see. They are the ones getting paid a lot of money.
And a few locals, you know.
Exactly. And they're the ones getting paid money, and they're the ones leaving the island with the money. You know, so for me, you know, I had done many interviews, and in these interviews, I do not understand what people don't understand when somebody says giving back. Giving back means you being benevolent. So for me, because it was so expected, I did not pay much attention to this, you know. So for me, I was not affected. I did not feel the tidal wave, neither the tsunami. I didn't feel anything. I was so indifferent to all of this because there was this person judging me, and this person was saying things about me, and this person don't know me. I've never, you know, I've said hi to this person, but I've never talked or spoken to this person under any other circumstances. And what was very sad was, you know, everything that was said was defamatory. You know, everything was false. Everything, every single word was false. So for me, I knew I was in the right. So I did not have to justify something that did not need to be justified. You know what I mean? So I think whosoever was affected by it then came out and speak about what was happening, or they spoke about. But I did not feel affected. So because I did not feel affected, I don't see the need to speak about something that did not affect me personally.
Now, one of the things that was raised, one of the points raised was that you know, you were critical of the fashion industry, or you know, what people here do for fashion. That was the main idea that I got from what was being said. Well, put this in context. I mean, yes, there was criticism or critique of what was going on. Let me not respond to the question. Let me ask you, was it criticism of what passes for fashion here, or was it a critique from a standpoint as a professional being out there, coming or looking from where you are, where you have high fashion in Europe, you have high fashion all over the world, and looking down on St. Lucia and saying, okay, well, this does not stand muster, pretty much?
No, I was not looking down on St. Lucia. I never looked down on anybody. You must understand, you know, I commend these people, you know, for voicing, you know, what they think or their opinions. I don't think what happened is necessarily something bad. I think it's important because it provokes some kind of reaction, because that's the only way we advance. You know, you must not be stuck in your little idea or what you think is right, you know, when others are coming in. You know, I think, you know, we don't build, you know, a brand on emotion, and everybody becomes too emotional about things. I think they should not be emotional about. Here's an opportunity that the Tourist Board of St. Lucia is giving us, and the St. Lucian government. We should all pitch in, you know what I mean? And whatever critique that I emit as a professional living and working on the outside and in the international arena, I, as a fashion critique in France, as well as a fashion personality in France, well, I'm sorry, I made an observation, and it's my duty and my right to make an observation. Where is the problem? I am sorry, I am seeing a conflict of interest, in certain things. I see certain things, and it's been years I've been speaking about this, not because now I'm connected to the tourist board that you're supposed to take something that I've been saying for years and bring it up. We do have a problem, in the fashion business in St. Lucia. It is practically non-existent. The tourist board is creating a new, is giving an opportunity for the rise of a new industry. And I think it is necessary. But now everybody's role must be defined in the fashion industry. This is a multi-million-dollar making business, and it's high time we stop thinking of fashion as a hobby. Fashion englobes many different other careers. There's television, there's a lights person, there's a sound engineer, there's a stage engineer, there's a makeup artist, there's a hairdresser. A lot of people can work in this business, but let's do it the right way. You know what I mean? Define everybody's job and define
so
also.
Do you see this as the failing of what we're doing here? Not a clear definition of the various roles in the fashion business?
I think it needs to be defined. I am really, honest about it, and I don't see where honesty. Solutions don't take very kindly to critique. It's important. That's the only way we grow. And me having had the experience, I critique not certain things not being defined, and the definition is what? If you an agency in St. Lucia, you should define the job of an agency. What is the job of an agency? An agency is supposed to scout girls and boys. Make sure, because with their Rolodex, which is supposed to be St. Lucian, regional and international, find them jobs. Go on castings, go on go-sees, go to photo shoots, and they should be on the runways internationally, regionally, and in St. Lucia. That for me is the job of an agency. But when an agency becomes also an event planner, I think, there's a conflict of interest. And in this conflict of interest, models cannot find their way, or they don't know what's going on. And, I have been, long before I've been working or called upon by the tourist board and the St. Lucian government to work as an artistic director on this, I've crossed the paths of many St. Lucian designers and many St. Lucian models, and the horror stories are just immense, too much to so I was emitting, I think, an observation, and I felt it was time that certain things had to break. If it had to break, and it break through me, and certain people didn't understand where I was coming from professionally, I am not going to be responsible for certain persons being misled or their shortcomings.
So does that elevate the conversation? Therefore, when you look at fashion, when you consider fashion in St. Lucia, do you think that this is a milestone that we have reached, where we can say, okay, a signpost to say, okay, at this point we recognize our deficiencies, and now we can go forward and build on what we have and make this thing even international a few years from now?
That's what I see, and that's what I hope, and that's my vision of what fashion should be in St. Lucia as well. And somehow or the other, the tourist board gave us that opportunity, and it's an opportunity for us to really create, and synergize, something that I think could become great and help St. Lucia, and create a pathway culturally for St. Lucia with the other Caribbean countries and with Europe, and help St. Lucian designers and models, use that pathway to go onto a bigger stage. You know what I mean? So for me, this was a huge opportunity, and I didn't say anything out of place or to hurt anyone. It was not done in that way. It was a professional observation, and I'm sorry, fashion is not very it's a very uncharitable business, and you have to be prepared to go through, close scrutiny and people telling you things that you do not want to hear. If you do not want to hear it, then you're not made for this business. If you want to remain on top, you must take this criticism and make you stronger. And I think, the critique that I made, it was not directed at anyone. So for persons to use my name and direct, defamatory statements where I am concerned, I think it's a little bit unfair, because what I'm doing is I'm just coming back to give them, these are the same persons. So if they would say, we would take what's happening, embrace what Vincent is giving, take it and work with it, I think I was not asking anything in return from anyone, because apart from the men who were dead who has helped me, nobody else has helped me in St. Lucia. I'm sorry, So I think I'm coming back and I'm giving a lot, So I'm giving it out of the goodness of my heart because I feel we need it. I think St. Lucia has immense potentials. After doing the castings in the north of St. Lucia, in the south of St. Lucia, I found gems. Now they need to be cleaned up, and make them shine so they can shine on an international level.
Now that's the next thing I wanted to. That's the next thing I wanted to get into. What your role has been so far, what you have been doing in the past few weeks that you've been here, and what you have discovered. Of course, you have indicated right now that you found gems in some of the models. Just to be polished a bit and prepare them for the international market. So give us a breakdown, a rundown of what activities you have been engaged in, who's involved with you, and also what you have found.
God have mercy, I am so blessed. I've had a wonderful team. The Tourist Board was really good to me, and they have offered me the team, a dream team I call. I was lucky to have, somebody that I admire very much in the person of Mrs. May Wayne, Rick Wayne's wife, who has been very instrumental in fashion in St. Lucia, in the business, in the media business, because she has a fashion magazine called She. I was lucky to find somebody who has become, like my sister. She has helped kept me grounded, in the person of a young St. Lucian model who has been over there and who has graced the catwalks of many fashion designers like Missoni, like, Chanel, all of these designers. She has graced the catwalk. So she know what it is like, to be, on the other side. She know what it is like to be a model, to go to her agency, get her jobs, get her go-sees, get disappointed, go back, go to fashion thing, go to fashion go-sees, and do fashion shows, so she knows it in the person of Denise Lay. I am so lucky to have her, because, she keeps me grounded, and I was lucky to have on my team as well somebody as Russell Lake who knows and understands the business. So together as a team, we went, thanks to the Tourist Board, we went to the north of the island and we scouted children. We scouted, we were looking for fresh faces. We were looking for people who were not overexposed. We were looking for as well, somebody who understood and who really wanted to become a model and who had what it takes to become a model. Because saying you want to be a model and having what it takes to be a model is two different things, And I cannot afford to make somebody believe that they can be a model when they don't have what it takes to compete with what's going on out there. When you look at the fashion business at the moment, and with the advent of Barack Obama and his wife becoming, a fashion icon, it has opened the doors to black models on the international arena. When we look at the designers at Dior, at Kenzo, at Yves Saint Laurent, one of the biggest inspirations at the moment is an African inspiration. So there is work for black models. So I find it bizarre that in St. Lucia, we have agencies, but we have no models coming from these agencies, and I'm not seeing them on the international arena. The models we are bringing in, who are St. Lucian international models, like Marla Bryant, Denise Lay, Portia, these girls, they were casted, in St. Lucia by scouts, international scouts, or they were casted when they were traveling overseas or they were studying overseas, and they were met, by, the job of an agency is to help these girls move on, get forward, So for me, the time was right, for St. Lucian models. And I think what is happening, in St. Lucia, it's the right time as well. So St. Lucia can meet, the standards. I saw these models myself, and I felt, I met a beautiful young woman. Her name is Tara Edwards. This young woman has the making of an Alec Weck. I think she has what it takes. Something which has shocked me immensely. All of these agencies exist on the island of St. Lucia. How comes not one St. Lucian model is taking part in Caribbean's Next Top Model? I don't understand. Permit me to be shocked. Permit me to be taken aback, because when I scout so many beautiful young women and men in the north of the island, and I go to the south of the island and I scout beautiful young men and women, why aren't they further than where they are? There's a beautiful woman called Amy Brown. Amy Brown, she's now 27 years old. Why at her age, she's still in St. Lucia? Why she is not further than where she's supposed to be? So for me, permit me to ask questions, and permit me to voice my opinions and voice my observations on what I see. So if I was given the opportunity to scout these girls and give them the possibility for this fashion show to network with real professionals, because we are not only scouting. Today I scouted some lovely St. Lucian designers. I was very, very impressed. These designers, they have what it takes to compete on the international arena, and this fashion show gives them the opportunity to do it. This fashion show is not a one shot. This is something that we as a team, and also the tourist board, thanks to them and the St. Lucian government, want to put in place so everybody working in the fashion business could have their little part of what's going on. A model agency sending their model to the casting. If their models were taken, the model agency did their job. So they're taking part because their model is taking part, and that's how I see it. So everybody has the opportunity to do it. So for me, when I see all of these gorgeous models, I took them with Denise. Now we are working with them, and we are training them for 3 weeks. They're being trained by an international model who has had the experience, myself, who is a model coach and who has international experience, and who has worked and has contacts with international people. I am not lying and say I went to a university or I went to a modeling school. These things, I don't have to lie to put things in my credentials to make people appreciate me. I don't do it, because when you check up on the, you will see that it's there. You just have to Google it, So I don't need to make up lies, about it. I am somebody, I've always been very honest, and my life is an open book. As a celebrity, I cannot afford to lie. So working with these models, they're getting free training for 3 weeks. This free training would cost them $15,000. To do this. These models, I did not want to work if these models were not getting paid. And these models, they're not getting paid $60, and they're not running 3 years after the agencies to get this money. They're getting paid right away, $500. So for me, where in St. Lucia a model has walked the catwalk and gotten $500? Nowhere. So for me, I am working for these people. May Wayne is doing the most important tool for a model. She's giving them design. She's giving them model composites, which they need, which is a tool for them to work in the business. So these models are getting a lot from us. So that is the work that we are doing. So we are taking these models, and now we are polishing them, and we are making them ready for something which St. Lucia has never seen before. The caliber of the show.
What can we expect? What can we expect come May this year, when you put everything together, when everything is brought together? You have those gems that you would have polished by then. You have those international models who are solutions who are coming back to collaborate and to complement those new models. When you put that that catwalk and that runway together, what can we look forward to?
You could look forward to a show which would be on an international level, actually, because that's what I want. My name is Vincent McDoom, and I am Vincent McDoom, and I don't associate my name to failure, so I will do everything for this to work. You know what I mean? I hate failure. It doesn't exist in my vocabulary. So for me, this is going to work. Not only this is going to work, the networking possibility is just endless. Do you realize that Marla Bryant, who's an international model, Denise Lee, who's an international model, if they have agencies, foreign agencies, they could put these models in contact with the foreign agencies. This is huge. We have talent scouts coming in from the different Caribbean islands, which are going to be at the show. You know what I mean? So for me, what you guys are going to expect, the caliber of the show is going to be something that St. Lucia has never seen.
We'll take our next break on Newsmaker Live. We're speaking with Vincent McDoom. When we come back, we'll be taking your calls, so please don't go away.